The Insta360 Go 3 has been out for quite some time now, and today we're gonna take a look at the 5 reasons why you would love it and 5 reasons for you to not. It's so hot, dude. I mean, how could you not love this thing? It's the size of my thumb. I've taken this thing to Singapore and Malaysia, and it definitely got some necks turning. And since we're on the topic of turning heads, no. The first thing you'd love about this camera is its build quality and functionality. Everywhere I go, I notice people looking curiously at this tiny camera.
Hello.
Which is literally the size of a battery, or like I said, my thumb. If you want to shoot videos discreetly or vlog first person view, this is the perfect camera to use.
Thank you. Made me crave for seafood.
You can remove the camera from the pod, as they call it, and use it separately to record from the body. But it will lose signal after a few meters away, or if you gain elevation. The preview will have a bit of a delay too. Removing the camera from the pod can take a bit of getting used to since the magnets are pretty strong, which is good for safety reasons. Putting it back charges the Go 3 as well. If you haven't noticed yet, it also has a flip-up screen. The build quality feels like a mixture of metal and plastic, and it definitely feels like a premium toy. I already dropped this once or twice, but good thing I keep it in this case from Amazon. Oh, the Insta360 only come in white, so if white isn't your thing, then too bad. The Go 3 is waterproof as well, up to 5 meters, although the action pod is just IPX4 splash proof, so be careful not to get this thing super wet. Here's the second reason you would love it, and I would say is the fun and exciting part of this product. The accessories, which you can magnetically mount either the whole pod or just the camera itself. And don't worry, it's super secure. There are several bundles you can buy that come with a few accessories, but I got the standalone bundle, which I will go through one by one. It comes with a magnetic pendant that is meant to be put underneath your shirt, so you can magnetically mount the Go 3 for a hands-free experience. This is my favorite item since I always know where the camera is pointing and people will barely notice that you have a camera on you. I don't know though if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's totally up to you where you want to use this power. Yeah, how'd you know? It also has a wedge that can help you point either upwards or downwards, which I honestly haven't used. Another one is this hat clip that you can clip on your hat or a strap on your bag. I barely use this one since it's very in your face, but I'm sure it's useful in different scenarios. But yeah, walking around with it feels weird. The pivot stand is like a small stand which has a sticky surface below that you can mount to flat surfaces. Removing the base of the stand will reveal a screw hole that you can mount to the mini 2-in-1 tripod, which I bought separately. This tripod can extend from 14.5 to 40 centimeters. You can also remove the lock and lever to access another mounting option. Okay, now let's head on over to the third one, which are the fun features. From the quick menu system, you can find several presets and modes, but the ones I mainly use are the photo, video, and free frame mode, all of which are set on a flat color profile, so I have more flexibility on color grading later when editing. But my favorite feature so far, which I found myself using more than expected, is the voice functionality. Stop recording. The voice control only has 4 commands though, which is just perfect, I'd say. Shut down camera. Did it work? Some people may find it useless, but I found it helpful, especially in situations where the camera is extended on the tripod and I don't want to ruin a steady shot, so I just say stop recording. There are also features that you may find interesting just by going through the quick menu settings and the drop down options. But yeah, so far the voice commands are my favorite.
Stop recording.
The fourth one is flexibility. What I mean by that is the ability to be creative with the smallest action cam available. The Go 3's magnet is super strong that you can mount it anywhere that it can attach to. The sky is the limit. Plus, the accessories will help you further that experience, so this is definitely a fun piece of camera to bring with you anywhere. It's so light as well, it's like 35 grams, which makes attaching it to items very easy. And most of the time you won't even feel that it's with you. Careful not to lose it though. So small.
That's what she said!
The fifth and last reason you'd love this thing is the price. This camera is very affordable. The 32GB standalone version costs 25,000 pesos or whatever it is in American dollars. Of course, the prices will vary from country to country and depending on which bundle you would take. I would say 64GB is the sweet spot for this. But if you don't like dumping files back and forth, then go for the 128GB version. It's super fucking cheap. Since we're on the topic of memory, this is the part where I talk about the 5 things you may not like about the Go 3. Let's start with the first one, which is the memory/storage. There's no slot for a micro SD card, so you have to work with what you got. Mine can record up to 3 hours of footage, but it can vary depending on what shooting mode you choose. During my week-long trip, I found myself emptying the Go 3's memory and dumping it on my external SSD with the help of my smartphone. I'm not sure if this will work on an iPhone, but what I did is that I used the app to connect to my phone to the Go 3 and exported everything on my phone, which took several hours. And after that, I now have to transfer the files from my phone to my external SSD, which took another several hours. You can't connect an external memory directly to the Go 3, but you can connect the Go 3 directly to a computer to dump the files, which is way easier. But since I did not bring a laptop, I had to go through a longer process of transferring my files, which is a bit of a hassle, but it's totally doable. I'd recommend bringing at least a small laptop with you if ever. My phone didn't have enough memory as well, so I had to do all of these in batches, which took even longer. So keep that in mind if you plan to bring this with your travels. Now let's head on over to the second part, which is the battery. I actually didn't have a problem with the battery since you can use the Go 3 separately, which has a battery of its own, and while it's out of the pod, you can charge the pod itself with your power bank or a wall charger. The Go 3 can last up to 45 minutes and it can run up to 170 minutes with the Action Pod. I didn't experience any overheating issues as well, which was impressive since I live in a hot environment and I shoot under the sun most of the time.
It's a lot of steps.
How many steps?
I'm not sure, but it's a lot.
The battery is built in as well, which some people may find a hindrance. It would be great to have a removable battery in case you don't have the time to charge it, but like I said, I didn't have much problem with it. Third one would be quality. If you're the type of person who likes to shoot in 4K, you're in luck because this actually doesn't have 4K. Sorry. The maximum resolution you can shoot with is up to 2.7K in 30 FPS, but you can shoot in 50 if you go with the 1440p resolution. Shooting in free frame mode will also only be available up to 1440p, which may be a deal breaker for most people, but I really don't mind. If you're not familiar with free frame mode, it basically is a setting that lets you adjust the aspect ratio and horizon lock in post via the app or studio. The stabilization on this thing is amazing too, although I just stick with the standard mode since I don't do anything crazy like mountain biking or whatever. Are you ready for the fourth one? That is the microphone. You can't use an external microphone, although the internal microphone might be enough for you.
Don't take his chips.
There are 3 modes that you can choose from. Let's take a listen to each one.
First one is stereo mode, which is my go-to setting, and I also have a fan in the background blowing to see what the quality is like. Now I have the wind reduction on. I don't know if it's making any difference with the noise of the fan in the background. And I'm sorry for my voice, I'm a bit sick. Lastly is the direction focus, which is the first time I'm actually trying it out, so what does it sound like?
Here are also some examples from my trips to Singapore and Malaysia.
I want to see your fishes.
Wait, you can go see our fish.
Alright. Tolong lah. Please lah. What's tolong? I'm back, boy. Hopefully everything's open now, dude. Wow. I remember this place. Whoa. No pooping, please. This is my last shirt.
Anytime, look at the ground and you will know that if you're the chosen one, you get it.
But you're the chosen one. Hopefully not.
Which one do you find is the best? I personally just go with stereo mode since I found the other settings distort my voice a little bit, but what do you guys think? Lastly, the fifth reason which you may find annoying is the software. Not necessarily the software itself, but the need to drop a couple of files in the app or studio in order for you to access and play around with some of the features of the camera, like the free frame mode, slow motion, time-lapse, etc. The previews of these features can only be seen in the app or software as well, which for me is a bit annoying honestly. It's not a deal breaker, but I just wish I could see it there. You know, there's a lot of friction just to access a certain type of feature. I don't know, maybe it's just me. There you have it, the 5 reasons why you may or may not love the Insta360 Go 3. Remember though that this is an affordable product and all my complaints are a bit justifiable, I guess, for the price. Some things to note though, the quick record feature where you press the camera when it's turned off to record may take a while to respond, so I missed a couple of shots that I wanted to take by a few seconds, which is fine. Just keep that in mind though. Also, I got a bug where the camera cannot connect to the pod even though it's inside it. Weird.
It's right there.
I just pressed the button on the Go 3 itself until it did connect, which the internet hasn't figured out yet. Sometimes the live preview gets stuck as well, but a quick restart fixes the issue. If you want to buy this item, I'll put a link down in the description. I'll be putting out videos about my tour in Razer HQ and what I did in Singapore and KL. So subscribe my dudes and thanks for watching. Click here for my laptop setup video.